Gareth Beavis is phones and tablets editor for techradar.com, joins me in the studio. Gareth, great to have you with us. By all accounts, one would imagine, or you look at the picture and you go, you know, Samsung is firing on all cylinders, but basically it comes down to this whole smartphone war and they're beating everybody.
Yeah, well, the thing with Samsung is they've been in the smartphone war for 3 years now, and what they've been doing is progressively getting better and better and better. Where other rivals have been trying things and they haven't maybe worked, Samsung started with, you know, some fairly average smartphones, and then every iteration from that, they've basically got them better and better and made them just more usable, and people really are starting to enjoy them and think, well, I can actually get on board with a smartphone if they didn't do before.
And I think you just sort of touched on it with that point, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're the expert. I've been reading, though, that it's the range, right, of models they've got from the low end to the high end, but also I'm hearing experts saying they've got really good, slick production system and they get their products out pretty fast on the market.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, the Samsung Galaxy S2 is the one that's really selling well at the moment. Everyone's quite excited about it. It's the real rival to the iPhone 4S, and that was announced in February and was out in April, May, so that's very quick turnaround time. I mean, Apple does the same kind of thing, but most companies, you've got sort of 6 months, maybe 7 months. That's a really quick turnaround, and it's a phone that's really feature-packed as well, so it's quite difficult to keep a phone secret and stop people getting excited before they announce it. But Samsung managed it, and it's really reaping the benefits now.
Yeah, and of course, you mentioned it's a very tough game, it's a very competitive industry, so I guess the question is, you know, can Samsung hang on to their leadership in 2012? But you ask that, or you think that, and then you go, look what happened to HTC, right? Yeah,
well, the thing is with HTC is it's actually a very small company in terms of electronics. I mean, it's only just over a decade old, really. So in terms of what they've achieved in such a short time, it's very impressive. But with Samsung, it's got the might of such a large corporation, the same as Apple really has. So in terms of hanging on to it, absolutely, because the fact is they're putting out loads of phones, a lot of them are being successful, and as you said, a lot of price points, which is really helping. You know, Apple does 2 or 3 phones in sort of 2 or 3 price points, but Samsung's got everything, so there's something for everybody there.
And one of the challenges that appears, obviously, to be facing Samsung is this, well, the global patent war, right, with Apple. They're at, like, loggerheads. I mean, do you think we'll see any kind of breakthrough this year, or that's going to rumble on?
Well, the first half of the year looks like it's going to stay the same, unfortunately. I mean, Samsung and Apple, the big high-profile ones. Apple's actually in a patent war with quite a lot of companies, actually. But it's about the way the hardware looks, the way the software operates. They're very similar. And it's not just Apple trying to attack Samsung in different territories. It's actually Samsung trying to get back at Apple in different things as well. And that's the kind of, you know, tit-for-tat thing that's going on in the courts right now. I mean, reality is probably going to get settled, hopefully within the next year, because it's quite boring to keep talking about the same thing. But it does stifle innovation and stuff at the moment, so really hoping it gets sorted quite quickly.
Sure is. And as I said to an expert earlier, Gareth, the only ones winning out of that are the lawyers, it seems to be. Okay, Gareth, thank you very much. Gareth Beavis joining us from techradar.com. Let's take a look at the market.